Welcome. This is Richard Hosnow, and I want to welcome you to the Innovation Best Practices episodes, where every episode I try and design to help you sell more and make more from your innovation program. The best practices in these episodes are proven and practical and are ones that I believe can work for virtually any business with any business need. I want to give a special welcome to our listeners around the world, now in 91 countries. Welcome. As you may or may not know, so I put this in here occasionally for those who may not know, there's a number of ways that you can experience innovation best practices. We have VideoCasts, which have the same audio track but a PowerPoint presentation on YouTube. And to find that, all you need to do is go to YouTube and in the search bar put Richard Innovation Best Practices. Will be in the search results, number 4 or 5, whatever it is, down on the list. You can also listen to it as a podcast. You just need to go to i2ge, that's the letter I, the number 2, ge.com/podcast. You can also go to iTunes and search for, in the podcast area, Innovation Best Practices. Really would appreciate if you could consider giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It really helps people find these episodes. We also have more free. There's a free app for the iPhone and iPad at the App Store and for Android devices in Google Play. Just search for Innovation Best Practices. I love to hear from listeners, and you can contact me directly. Just send me an email to richard@i2ge.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Today we're going to be talking about innovating for boomers, and it's really what researchers tell us that boomers want the most, and not only what they want the most, but a fairly high level of dissatisfaction. So anytime you've got high levels of wants and dissatisfactions, maybe with things that are out there, people willing to consider more options, it's a fertile ground for innovation. So that's why I'm putting this in here. Okay, here's an overview. In developed countries around the world, populations are far more older than they are younger. The reverse is true in developing countries. Innovating for boomers is a productive innovation direction since many of them want more than current products provide them with. Anytime this exists, it is really a great opportunity for innovation success. Innovation best practices tell us to know our potential customers, and we do this best with quantitative research. Multiple sources are going to be used in this episode. So this is all about innovation best practices. So who are boomers? Well, about 1 out of 4 of the people in America are boomers. In most countries around the world, the 50-plus segment is the fastest growing segment. Boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. With 1957 being the biggest birth year with 4.3 million people. They have massive buying power, over $2 trillion of buying power every year. Here's what boomers want. 84% say they want the energy to do things they want to do. 80% want to remain active. That's a very, very high level. The old view of being over 50 was kind of like this. It's time to slow down, get in the rocking chair. It's all about aging and the elderly. Well, the new view of being over 50, the theme is now healthy living. Boomers have reasonably good financial, emotional, and social health. Physical health is better than in previous generations. In their lives, prior to becoming in the older generation, they've been pioneers, revolutionaries. They've tried to be ever relevant and are now focused on anti-aging. It's a very interesting generation. So, what do boomers fear? Well, 62% fear running out of money. 61% fear being a burden to their family or other loved ones. 59% fear losing mental or brain capacity. 55% fear restricted mobility or difficulty getting around. 52% fear heart attack and stroke. 48% fear a degrading appearance. And the percent of people fearing these items has been increasing over time. Now, I know I'm going through all this rather quickly. For those of you listening to the podcast, I'm going through it far more quickly than certainly you can take notes. If you want to see all of the details on this, you can watch this in the VideoCast version that I talked about earlier, where you'll see the information on a PowerPoint slide. I hope that helps. Boomers, 69% of them would agree with this statement. I will take whatever means necessary to control my own health. That's a That's pretty bodacious. And it suggests a far greater involvement by patients in their well-being than in the past when doctors were seen as a god, lowercase g there. With the advent of all of the resources on the internet, WebMD, and all kinds of medical websites and everything, boomers have become health has become relatively more important to them than when they were younger, and they're going to take control of their health. And about 2/3 of boomers would be interested in products, including foods and beverages, that would increase their energy, help them relax, relieve the stress, and sleep better. So you've got 2/3 of our largest generation interested, wanting new products that will help them. That's a pretty high level of interest and a great opportunity to consider for innovation. Okay. 80% of boomers believe they can manage health issues through proper nutrition. And 79% would agree, quote, "I would be interested in trying new approaches to managing my health." Remember the number that I shared just a few seconds ago. There are very, very high levels of interest in new products and services from boomers. Again, underscoring, and that's the reason I'm putting this episode in here, to let you know what they want and what they fear. The potential businesses are already benefiting from this already. There are medical spas where you can get things like Botox for wrinkles, Juvederm as a filler, hair removal, chemical peels, liposuction, hair restoration for men. It's an incredible list of services. Plastic surgery has moved from solely focus on repairing injuries and things to lifestyle lifts. Clearly very elective surgery. There are anti-aging medical practices. It's almost becoming a new medical specialty. It's very interesting language around this. I did a project for a client many years ago that with a company that actually wanted to focus an entire multiple creative sessions on this particular opportunity we're talking about here. And so we brought in what we described as anti-aging experts, and one of them was Dr. Bill Thomas, who I may have talked about previously. Just one of the great people on planet Earth. And he will tell you that the word anti-aging is not something he agrees with. You can't reverse the aging process, he would tell you, in its fundamentals. There are some beliefs that you can alter it in terms of its appearances. Enough said on that for the moment. Nutraceuticals and vitamins are also a big part of what people are interested in all of this. And there's lots and lots of businesses in and around all this space. So the promise of the future is that this is a promising area for medical research. It includes more and better medical practices in nutrition, fitness, hormone replacement therapies, nutraceuticals, skincare, and other physical aesthetics. And then there's also small and notable companies like Body Logic and Cenogenics with their wonderful television ads of people in their 70s looking like they're in 50s and talking about their libido. So a lot of folks are playing in this space. Here's some concluding thoughts for you. This is a very large and growing market, certainly as a percent of the total population. They've got a lot of buying power that truly wants better products and services than exist today. Some of the challenges involve long product development times because of the need for clinical trials and government regulations if you're really getting into medical products and devices. But it's not the only area that you can focus on. There are a whole lot of opportunities on products that are directly or indirectly medically related that don't need to go through all those hoops. And there also can be services and products that make life more fun, challenging, and rewarding. I could list a whole bunch of them here, but luminosity is probably one of the more well-known among them to keep your mind sharp. So, if you'd like more innovation best practices, we have them for you. You can just go to the i2ge.com website. That's the letter I, number 2, ge.com. On the menu bar, click on the DIY Innovation Training. You'll see a whole bunch of training programs there. If there's not one that fits your exact needs, just contact me. Be glad to tailor one for you. Here's why I'm doing this. I want to make you innovation self-sufficient. And in doing that, you can save hundreds of thousands of dollars that might otherwise be paid to expensive consultants like me and others to do it for you. A second source of innovation best practices is one of the 6 books that I've written and published. It's called Proven Practical Innovation That Delivers Results. It's available only on Amazon as a paperback and Kindle book, and it's priced below my break-even cost. So it's a heck of a value. If you have suggestions, comments, or requests, I love hearing from you. Just send me an email to richard@i2ge.com. In the next episode, I ask the problem, and it's asked in a great article in the Harvard Business Review, are you solving the right problem with innovation? You'd be surprised how many times people aren't. In fact, there's a very good chance that when you focus your innovation, you're not solving the right problem. And there's all sorts of risks that come with this, but the good news is there's a way of dealing with it. There is a way of identifying the right problem. So tune in to this wonderful summary of a Harvard Business Review article, all consistent with innovation best practices. As all of you know, I deeply appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I look forward to reconnecting with you soon, and until then, please have a great day.